Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello, Davy Pops.
Hello, hello.
All right.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Isaac.
Well, what scandal today on the TV? I mean, Mandelstam, new prime minister, will be here next month. I mean, it is
What?
insane, isn't it? Like, what's going on?
I don't watch the news, Isaac, for
It's,
that very reason. Fill us
it's
in.
it's all a puppet show, my friend. It's all a puppet show.
Sound like a conspiracy theory person, Dave. Are
I
you?
am very
Oh, I
much
love
so.
the conspiracy theory.
They're not theories. They're actually becoming facts, unfortunately.
I know. Isn't it worrying? So what, are we actually going to get a new prime minister?
Well,
No
we don't
idea.
know that for sure, but it looks like it. If it like it's really bad right now, isn't it? So,
Oh, my word.
well, what can we do?
Well,
Not care.
doesn't make
Works
any
for me.
difference, does it? Yeah. Doesn't matter who we get in. They don't seem to
Oh,
manage to.
we have to have hope. We gotta hope that there's gonna be someone's gonna come in and be honorable.
Well, I vote Fed in that case.
Isaac, I've said this before. They're just two, was it two cheeks of the same arsehole?
Yeah.
That can
Don't
go in so
matter.
many ways.
Don't matter. Yeah, I know. Especially with your mind. No, I mean, like, don't matter whether it's left or right. It
Nope.
don't matter a thing.
Nope.
Hello, Louise. We've got Georgie and Gary, no doubt, side by side. Our little lovebirds.
Hello, beautiful people.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, Luke.
How you
How you
doing,
doing?
Lou?
I'm all right, thanks. How are
Hi,
you
Georgie
lot?
or Dave.
Hi,
Good.
guys.
I just come off the call with Lloyd.
Yeah. He
like,
says, I can't eat anything tasty now.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Well,
Amazing, amazing. Okay,
We were
so
we were just on about UK politics and national news before you guys joined us. We were on about what was happening today in the national news cycle. My good God.
have
no,
you seen them Buddhist monks walk in America? The peace walk. Oh, it's phenomenal. Google it. It's not on mainstream news. My friend's obsessed and she's now emailed all the newscast companies to find out why they're not publicising it and broadcasting it.
Because they're owned by
good.
Yep.
interests.
Yep.
Because it's
And like,
positive news, you see. They don't want positive news.
BSLs.
it's like Phil swearing at the television. They should be doing this. They should be doing that. I was like, well, what are you stressing over? Like, yeah, because you need to know these things because like it's not right. And it's like, yeah, but it doesn't matter how much you get,
You
how
ain't
much
changing
whatever.
it.
Nothing's ever going to change.
No.
So the only thing that you can do if you really want to do anything is to run. Is to run for to have a seat there, and even then you're not going to have any power. So it's like there's no
Or
point.
or create a new world just like we are.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can't fix something that's broken. You gotta get something totally new. Create something totally new. There we go. There we go. But okay, so who is missing? We got lots of people missing. There are some people jumping on, some people arriving late. So we are just gonna make a start, I think, because that would be the best policy for now, I guess. Nice to have you here. Um, but yeah, I'm just wondering. I know that Gemma said that she was gonna come in straight away because she needs to leave early, so I'm guessing she's probably.
I text her, but she hasn't read it yet.
Okay. Yeah, there's nobody else that has messaged. I know that well, Jill said that she was coming, and whoever got Lindsay said that she might not be able to join, but she is arriving home. She'll be here later. Carrie said that she was going to be here. I'm sure that Michelle as well was going to be here. Anyway, so they'll arrive when they arrive.
Where's Hayden?
I sent him a message as well, and I said just sending you a reminder because I know what you're like, but I don't know whether he's working because he started now at Sony, so I don't know whether he's doing shifts or where is that at the minute. We shall see. We shall see. Anyway, Am I recording? Yes, I am recording. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our beautiful, beautiful coaching call. And right, shall we start just ceremonially, of course, to bring a little bit of spirit and a good intention to our session together. So if you feel comfortable, bringing your hands to your heart for a second, taking a nice deep breath in together, breathe in, and then letting it all go. And again, another deep breath in, inviting gratitude into your chest. And then letting go of the to-do list, all the should-haves, all the could-haves. And another deep breath in, inviting love into your heart and holding on to the breath there. And feeling this love energy that's here for you whenever you need it. And when you're ready, blowing it to someone who needs it in this world. And I'd like to call upon the beautiful spirit of the Imbolc that we just passed, and the ignition, the return of the light. May it bring light into our paths, into our intentions, into our journeys ahead, and to be able to shine like a beacon of light to all the other people that need our support, our love, our wisdom, and to be able to also bring that light into ourselves for our own healing, our own insight, our own wisdom, our own love, and everything that we need in this lifetime to thrive, to be abundant, and to be happy in our heart. When
Right.
oh my gosh, Shell joining us just now. Beautiful. Okay, so we are going to do a little round robin and checking in with everyone, and I've got a few things to share as well, developments and insights and things that you all need to know about. But let's go with our lovely Gail. Hi, Shell. How you doing, lovely? Nice to see you.
Hello.
Hello.
I was just talking about Imbolc. Look what Kerry made for us. That's like magnesium butter. When we had our little trio meet up, and then our little stone and candle, blessed with all under the moon and stuff. Well, you know how I am, Fed, so you don't make me repeat it.
We chatted this afternoon, Gil.
Yes, but it's lovely to see everybody as usual.
And I know, obviously, we've had already a catch up, so I know where you're at. But do you want to share anything with anyone else? Do you need anyone, or do you need the group to give you any support around anything?
It's not that I can think of.
You're all good.
I get all shy. I don't like talking about me, really. I like talking, but not about me.
Okay. No, that's fine. Obviously, I know
Thank
where you're at with the course, so we've already had a catch up around that. And obviously, if you got any questions later on when I share other stuff, then obviously you can come back in. So
Thank you.
that was nice
I won't.
and easy.
Thanks.
Okay, let's go over to Isaac. How are you doing?
Good. And I just realized I had my mic on. I should have turned it off. I was like, okay,
Absolutely
all good. Where am I? I've got a meeting now with Georgie and Jill next week, which is lovely. So we shall get those our triad together. Which is really good. And then I think you've got an event coming up in like May, I think. So I've just emailed you, just messaged you about that. Looking forward to the March event. I did your AI course, your 11-day challenge, and I've then set up. I've made 2 programs, but I've then duplicate them. So I got like Oracle. I got Oracle for men, Oracle for women. And I've done Lenormand, not Lenormand for men, not for women. So I've sort of looked at my unique selling points. So that's quite nice. So I'm just sort of devising my own little website. So it gave me the inspiration to move forward, which is lovely. So I've been messaging a friend of mine who's an academic and just getting to just double check stuff. Yeah, so just all good. I may need to email you just to say, obviously, I didn't start the course until after 2 months later, because I think because I get these emails say, "Oh, you're 5 months behind." I'm thinking, filth, the lies. So I have to drop you an email to say, actually, I started this date as opposed to September. I think I've got like September down, and I get these like nasty emails that say you've you're late, you're late, you're late. I'm thinking, well, I'm but maybe like 2 months late, but that's the point about it, really. So I'll have to send you a nice email of that, Fed. So I'll do that later. And how am I? Fine, it's fine. Just looking forward to this year, 2026. Woo, yeah. So all good though, all good. No like real like challenges. Just some really wonderful stuff coming up.
Cool. So on the point of the emails,
Yep.
have you read the little disclaimer at the top where it says this information might not be correct, because obviously there's still a lot of stuff that previous students that obviously have migrated from Skool onto the new system, like for example assignments that people have already completed, other tasks that obviously unless they're ticked on the system only knows what it knows. So obviously it just picks up on the information of what is there. But I'm actually doing some work still on refining that information. But my question out of that is, and obviously I've had a few conversations already, but is also for everyone, which will come to as we go around, is whether that information is helpful to keep you accountable and to give you a reminder of the things that have been submitted or not. Because obviously there are some people, for example, Gemma reached out today to say a lot of the assignments that I sent in are not there. And I was like, I know, because they haven't been uploaded. But once all the information is there, it should give you a good snapshot of where you're at in terms of your progress. And obviously it's not meant to be non-reflective of where you're at, because obviously it needs to have the information there. But does it help to see it there all in one place?
I quite enjoy seeing it. I just wish it was correct information. So I think it's completely a pack of lies. I'm like, you liar. So it's upsetting when you get the email thinking that's not true. But no, I do quite like the accountability side. So I think that bit's good for me. That like works. But I just wish it was correct, because I was still with the charity in like September, as you like know, Fed. So yeah. So I think I would email you the dates it's like the starter, so we can just rejig that. Only because I panic thinking, oh God, I've wasted 5 months. I've only got like so many months left now. I won't finish the course. I've paid the extra money, so I just want to make sure that's like correct. What else is there? And I think obviously when I logged on last month and we're on module 3 and there was no script and therefore then you kind of lose a bit of faith there. Oh, beep, 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 beep. So you kind of like, and then you got to realize, okay, well, Fed is unhuman. These things can happen. So obviously I message you and then you send me the actual documents, because sometimes it asks you to do something and then it's not on the actual system. So I emailed you to say, or messaged you on Facebook to say, can you send me the scripts from module 3, because they weren't actually there, even though I'm being prompted. So I'm being told off, I'm late, and then the material I want's not even there. And you're like, so you're thinking, oh, okay, well, hang on a second. So I think but these things happen though, yeah.
Yeah,
No man, I
absolutely.
got my like fire back. I'm a fire sign, so I got the fire back. So it's all good though, all good.
No, it's all good. So when it comes to that, I mean, the only thing that I'm asking is making sure that if the information, and I'll keep banging on about this, if the information that comes into the report is incorrect, yeah, the system will only report on what is present. So if there is assignments that are not there or whatever, if people flag it up like you just do it now, if you'll send me an email after this and tell me, look, there are these things, or this is the data that I actually started, because obviously when I launched this website, it's kind of like everyone was onboarded at the time of the website going live. So obviously the information is not going to be right until it's rectified. But what I'm asking for here is support to make sure that that information is correct. So, for example, with I was explaining from the last call, and since the last call, myself and also Dave, Gemma, Alison, I've had to literally, right at the beginning of the course, people were sending me their assignments, some on my personal email, some to info at, some to help desk at. So I had information all over the place, and I tried to obviously make sure that it's all in one place on the website. So some of that stuff has been done, not necessarily for everyone, because there are some people as well that have not been here at the last coaching call or have not read the information since. And obviously if there is stuff missing, the information that comes out will always be wrong until it's rectified. So I'm asking for support and making sure that when you get that email, which is automated, if there's something that is incorrect, let me know, because then obviously I can make sure that is rectified. If there's something missing, I can upload it. And the same with the materials, because obviously I transferred the course twice, from Kartra to Skool, and from Skool now to this website. So things like the scripts, obviously, which I forwarded to you, as soon as I get the information, there's something missing, I can do something about it. But obviously I don't know what I don't know. I don't know whether everything is there or not. Obviously the resources are all done from obviously people going through the course, so I just need to make sure that I'm aware, and then I get that done. So little bit of help, please. Yeah, just make sure to
Yeah,
let me know. Yeah, amazing.
it's not it's meant with love and like kindness. It's meant,
I know, I know.
to be honest, actually, it's a bit of a relief. I go, okay, well, Fed hasn't had it, so I can be a bit naughty. I can like skive off. It's fine. I can chill out over here a little bit. So in a way, it's like it's fine. It would be nice to know the full cost recovery for the program though, because sometimes there's additional costs and which is fine. I mean, I'm quite okay financially, but you think, okay, oh, I got to go and buy something else now. So I think it would be good for people who's signing up to the course to know with the different modules what things they've got to go out and buy. Because I think, because you think, oh, well, I've paid for the course, I've paid the actual fee. I'm sure that's fine, but then sometimes there's some hidden costs there. So I think just for trying, I think it would be good for people to know. Okay, well, if you're doing this course, these are the items you will need during the first 7 months, and the rest of the 7 months, just so people are aware of that. I think would be good.
So what if you tell me with the ones that you found that were a surprise? Because I mean, obviously there are things like Epsom salts or the Epsom, the obviously to do the enema bag, that kind of stuff. I mean, I try to always make recommendations about different things that you can do and cannot. Obviously, like for example, you can go for a colonic and pay someone, or otherwise you buy the and the enema bag. But like those are things that I didn't really like think into the cost of the course. But if you think that that is an issue and that people should be made aware of, is a little bit hard to quantify what the costs are. Because for example, some people might not want to have things like a drum, for example, or there are some people that have come on the course that have said, I'm not going to do the enema. No matter whether it's something that we should be practicing, experiencing, or helping other people, I'm not going to do it myself. So it's not necessarily a cost that I'm not forcing anyone, but at the same time, there are some things that obviously some people might want to experience or to buy, and obviously some people go to town way more than others. So I don't know if you point out the things that you feel like, oh, it would have been good to know about this one. Again, maybe it's my oversight, and I didn't think about that. But if you flag it up, then I can make sure to put it into the pack, the information that I give out to people.
I think it's more of a bit of, maybe a little bit of embarrassment to go and buy some items, go to the shop, or thinking what are we buying to like that's gonna like come to the property. No, it's fine, that's fine. Thank you, Fed. Sorry, thank you for taking time. Thank you.
No, but like I said, I take that on board. So if there are things that you literally just send me an email with those points, and I'll make sure that I put it into the information basically. So it's appreciated. But thank you, Isaac. Okay, Dave, we're gonna go over to you.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. We meet again.
We meet again. Yes. I well, Isaac's just reminded me now that I've got an email. So I just checked that, and there's a few assignments. It says that I haven't uploaded. One of them is off module 1. So I can either re-upload that, or whether that's something you have to do, I don't know. But there's a couple missing.
So the ones that are not there are the ones that I could not track. So it might be that
Okay.
I know that I marked them because obviously you've already passed those modules,
Yeah.
but it might have been, like I said, either sometimes it was an email, sometimes it might have been an attachment. It's just
Sure.
information being scattered. So if you can track it, obviously generally I in the past I've given my response via email, so I can find my feedback, but I don't necessarily have the first email, with it, either whether it was written or whether it was an attachment or whatever.
Sure.
So yeah, if you got that, and then obviously I can make sure that it's loaded up.
Yeah, I'll have it. I'll always keep a copy of it somewhere. So yeah, it'll be fine. Other than that, well, you know my situation now. So back on the job hunt again. But this is an opportunity for me now to get growing super fast and get something out there. So yeah, can't wait for this course to start tomorrow now.
Absolutely. And we'll talk a little bit about the course later on, so so that everyone is aware about what that entails if people want to be involved with it, because obviously it's also forming part of the STT course, but there's an opportunity to jump on this now. And not everyone is going to be doing that, and obviously it's not necessarily going to be conducive for everyone, but this is going to be running 4 times a year. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Anything that you need, any support? Obviously, I know that you have had a few conversations with Gemma and Hayden as well in terms of progressing with the course and your triad. Have you managed to get anything down? Any planning?
Yeah, I've been sort of mapping out what I need to do to get module 5, and I think I got one thing on module 4 to finish. Get them finished. So I reckon I should be done by but by Friday or Saturday, I'd imagine,
Beautiful.
on module 5. Yeah, so I can concentrate on module 6 next week then.
Lovely. Okay. Amazing, amazing. Okay. Anything you need from the group?
Well, I saw Georgie and Gary with a nice cup of tea. I could do with a cup of tea. Just asking.
Can you send one through the internet, please?
Yeah, I am gonna have to nip down and make a quick cuppa now because I've only got this tiny little bit of water left. But
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
you guys carry on without me.
Yeah, we won't wait for you, but be back for the next bit.
Well,
Amazing. Okay, thank you, Dave.
yeah.
Louise, how you doing, lovely? First of all, wait a second. Congrats, Louise. First one to get to the Shamanic Space Holder qualification certificate. Well done. Yay! How you doing, love?
Hey, yeah, up and down. I was up all day today and now I'm down. I think I'm just tired. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with the next module at the weekend. Module 8, everybody, module 8.
Hey.
Don't rub it in. Come on, Dave, get your skates on.
I know. Do you know? I was actually thinking that around now it would have been the end of the course.
Wow.
So literally, okay, but yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. And I'm glad to see people that are getting to the certification. Okay, so anything that is in the way for you, Louise? Anything that you need from the group?
No, just that bloody thing to let me upload my triads.
The one that you messaged earlier on. Okay, I haven't had a chance to look since I come home from when you messaged me. I was at the vets, but yeah, I'll have a look because other people. So can you put your hand up if you've been able to log in triad work? Has anyone uploaded any triad work? No, guys. No. Okay. Righto. So that will be what I'll look at after this call ends. But it normally it's pretty straightforward. But it was working before.
Filled it all in. It just wouldn't. When I pressed the button, nothing happened.
Yeah,
so whether it needs more characters or something, I don't know. I've done a group one.
Okay, and the
I've
group
done a
one
therapy one.
Did the group one logged? Okay, did it?
Yeah, the others are. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just get it to do its diagnostics whilst we are chatting, and then hopefully I'll have some information for you when we finish this bit. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Thank you, Louise. Amazing, and well done again on achieving your certification. And obviously we'll chat about the certification in a minute. And next I'm going to go to Georgie and Gary, whichever order you want to talk. How you two doing?
Good. How are you? We're all good, thank you.
Good.
Um,
How are the stress levels?
so leveled off now because we exchanged contracts today on the purchase and the sale. Thank God. So that's all good. And yeah, tomorrow get my head back in the course. I've been sort of missing in action, I'm very aware, since December, as far as modules concerned. But I'm going to crack on with module 3 tomorrow, and also on the course tomorrow morning. So that's good. Yeah, but no, I think, and we've got our triad book, haven't we, Isaac? That's all sorted with Jill. So we're kicking on gas. And for
And
me, and what?
and you finished your job?
And I finished one of my jobs yesterday, which is good. Yeah.
How does it
Yeah.
feel? How does it feel?
Well, I was very unexpectedly emotional actually when I left, but I think that's because it was a hugely stressful day with not exchanging contracts. But no, so we're done now. So I have now much more time to focus on stuff that I want to be doing with the people I want to be doing, with where I want to be doing it.
Check you out. Love it, love it, love it.
So, and for me, I'm with Isaac. I'm not enjoying getting those emails. I just can't even open them now. They're so upsetting and demoralizing.
There,
It's kind of red. And it's just, I think, oh God, no.
I promise you, I'll do the work to make them be perfect. But the point is accountability. And I have to say, as much as it might be demoralizing for you, just think of being at this end. I literally I will speak from my heart. Chasing people and trying to get everyone motivated to keep going is literally bloody stressful. Because I want the best. I want to make sure that I'm pushing and that I'm getting everyone to that finish line. And we're talking, sorry guys, and I'll say it as it is, but we are 2 years into the program, and there's Louise and Anne Marie have got to month 7. Yeah, I've been too slack. Maybe I should have been harsher, but if that is what it takes to create a little bit of stress to get you to think, it's not about demoralizing. It's about, you should be thinking like, oh my gosh, there's stuff here that I need to, organize myself. I need to get going with these things, because ultimately you signed up because at the end of the qualification, there's a profession. Think of the goal. It's not about the stress of getting through it. This is the path. Think about the goal. The nugget is at the end. So it needs to have that, but like, oh shit, I gotta get my act together. I hear you. Yeah, I'm not trying to, to sway things in a direction that is unhelpful, but I'm trying to think constantly about what can I do, yeah, to get people fired up, because on one side, yes, it might feel stressful that there's work to do, but there should be also the excitement of the learning, of the experiences, of the practices, of the tools that you're learning to embrace and to become everything that you had in mind when you signed up to the course. So I'm trying to think, what can I serve? How can I make it better? How can I make it easier? And I'm open to hearing, yeah. And obviously, what I'm hearing is, oh, this is hard. It's harsh, to look at, So obviously, I'm having to do my own thinking around. Do you want these emails? I can stop sending the emails. It's not about, I don't need to send this out as an extra task for myself, but I'm literally just thinking, how can I get everyone motivated and fired up to keep going? So tell me, I'm here. Literally, I'm open to that feedback.
I think what I'm hearing, Fed, is that there's two things with those emails. One is that I think people get frustrated when there's inaccuracies in there, because if they've taken the time and effort to do something and then it's not been picked up by the system and then it's reported out, and I know it's not shared with everyone, but just from a personal perspective, I suppose that's where there's a frustration. I think the other thing is that the way that report is built, it just reinforces all the things you haven't done. So it's got a very negative tone to it. And you're talking about motivating people. I've stopped reading it because I find it demotivating to read. I know where I am on the course. I know what I've got to do. If it says to me, you've had no triad meetings in the last 4 months, my immediate response to that is, but my triads have been changed 3 times in the last 4 months. No wonder I've not had a triad meeting. So it sort of just creates this little bit of friction. So, I mean, I think for some, it's that carrot and stick piece, isn't it? Some people need the stick, some people need the numbers to remind them, other people's need gentle cajoling and encouragement and support. And I think that report is quite heavily weighted on the stick. That's just my take on it. But I did hear people earlier saying actually they found it useful. So I don't know. It's a tricky one.
I mean, I'm very open to even. I mean, if people tell me I want it and people tell me I don't want it, I can also send it out selectively. Like it takes 2 seconds for me to program it so that some people get it and some people don't. But ultimately, what I'm trying to come up with is a system. And I hear you, because obviously things have changed, and probably people that have been here from the beginning have seen a lot more change than probably what you have had to put up with, or what you dealt with in terms of even the triads changing. And obviously, I mean, some of those things are inevitable because there are some people that leave the course, or people that are not sticking to it. So it's difficult sometimes to even try to match people, because it gets to the point where there are in the groups people that are on the same page, on the same module, and then there are other people that they are not matching anymore because someone is on module 5 and someone has just started, and it's like, well, I still need to put people together to work together. And yeah, it's really, really hard work. If it was a bigger pool of people, probably there would be easier solutions, because there would be maybe more people that are on the same page. But like I said, I'm really open to feedback. I'm just trying to really, really come up with whatever is the best system to keep everyone accountable, motivated, happy, and sometimes having the stick on the other side, because it's like there are people that literally I'm saying it here open-heartedly. There are people that I chase every single week. There are some people that I've chased for the last 5-6 months, and I'm not getting stuff through. So like, I mean, where do I take things? How do I make it workable for everyone? Because everyone's got different needs, and I hear you what you're saying there as well. Some people need the sugar sweet, and some people need the sick. But how do I come up with a solution for everyone?
Maybe there's
I wonder if there's some sort of a retreat you could do, Fed. Maybe like a weekend you could do like module 1 to module 6, so people can catch up. Maybe it's like almost like summer camp, I suppose. Sorry, Gary. Maybe there's a way that you can do like a quick. Because sometimes, I mean, like, life just gets in the way, man. I mean, I know I'm like, my life is so easy, really. But even me, I'm like, oh, bloody hell. So I wonder if there's some sort of like intense weekend you could do, like for people that have done between module 1 to module 6. We're gonna do those assignments this day, maybe, or something, maybe.
So at the last coaching call, what was discussed was to have study groups, which was what was previously done and organized among students, where there was a working hour. I don't know, Dave, remind me, was it on a weekly or was it monthly? I can't remember.
It was ad hoc, to be honest. It was ad hoc, and it was basically Jay, who used to be on the course. He would say, "Well, I'm going to do some studying tonight. Anybody want to join me?" And you could just jump on a Zoom call, sit there for an hour, and the premise of it was each person would bring to the meeting what they're going to work on, and then everybody mutes, and in an hour's time, he picks it up and says, "Right, okay, what did we get done?" And we all have a discussion about what we actually got done on our respective works, and we end the call. Easy as that. And that way, you've got a little bit of accountability. You're bringing an intention. You're getting the work done, and then you talk about it. So yeah, it was really effective, I thought.
Yeah, so I mean, that was discussed at the last coaching call as a potential solution for everyone to kind of do some work together and have some accountability. And I did say, I don't have the capacity, like literally, even in terms of organizing another retreat or weekend as an intensive thing is not something that I've got capacity for right now. But I don't have any problem with people getting together and organizing that, whether it is a study hour or whether it is a weekend getting together. I'm open, to those ideas, but I don't have the capacity to facilitate that. So and it's not something that I can provide myself. But obviously, since last coaching call, nothing has happened around that opportunity to get together. So I don't know whether there's someone that would like to take the lead. If anyone feels that that is a viable way of working for accountability, yeah,
I'll
Dave,
do it.
you're happy to organize that.
Yeah, I'm happy to organize it. I've got a pro account with Zoom when I pay my bill. Um, yeah, so I can just jump, put into the group. It might be a good way to now actually to ask everybody who's on the call what is their preferred method of communication now? Is it WhatsApp or is it Telegram now that we have the two environments? And we can use that as so to get everyday engagement, and or unless you would rather it to be on Merlin, we got the chat facility, the community, the setup on there. Whatever works for everybody else. I'll post in there when I'm going to do some work, and if anybody wants to join me, we'll do an hour.
Okay, so let's pause 1 second that conversation, because I'm just conscious that we were doing a little bit of a round robin, and I think that that is important to finish as well. And obviously we got this conversation as well. So let me just finish this bit first. So Gary and Georgie, I hear you. So obviously that is taken on board, but obviously well done that you're getting on to the course, and glad to hear how things are going as well with the house and de-stress, I should say. Gary, how you doing?
Yeah, good. Sorry, I jumped in on that point about the emails, but yeah. So I mean, let just put it into context. I think Georgie now finishing her job, the house now exchanged. So that means we've got 7 weeks before we move. And although there's a lot to do, there's a lot less stuff that's going to take our time in terms of our brain capacity. So, we've sort of committed that in the next, 7 weeks, we're going to try and get the next two modules done. And one thing I'm really conscious of is the fact that we're in the same house doing it together makes it easier. One, because creates a bit of competitiveness. George was a, a module ahead of me, and now she isn't. And so, it helps create that momentum, which is why I don't really value the email, but I'm sure it does for other people. And also, I think what I've realized, we've got our first triad meeting tomorrow, finally. And it's made me realize, I think there are people who, they're doing this on their own. And although they're getting the opportunity to do the coaching, and what have you, I think having someone supporting you, encouraging you, giving you tips and hints about how they've approached it. So, not necessarily being on the same module, but just giving people a perspective of, how did I approach it? What did I do? How was it? Do you need to get overly stressed when you get those emails? Those little things I think are going to be really helpful in our little triad. So that's good. So yeah, I think we're going to sort of have a bit of a try and get a bit of a blast. I think the other thing that happened to me the other day is that, and I think Isaac maybe touched on it, is just I get that the system and the website is all sort of continuing, but if you've carved out the time, you've sat down, you've done the exercise, and you've written the assignment, when you send it through, you want to know that it's gone through, you want to know it's been received, and then you want to get the feedback because you've invested all that time. And I had an issue the other day, where I put mine through, I went back later to see that it had gone through and there's nothing there. So I thought, right, well, something's gone wrong. And I actually submitted my assignment 3 times because in the thing it didn't have my Word document that I'd put in there. And then you said to me, oh no, I've got it 3 times, but I didn't know that. So I don't know how there can be some mechanism in there that when you put your assignment in, you know that it's gone and you know that it's been received.
So can because this is not clear to me, so obviously I need to check in with you. But when it comes to saying it was not there, What I needed to ask you, just bear with me a second because I'm just loading up the page, because hopefully that will explain. So once the assignment has been submitted, so say like you're doing module 2, and you go into the assignments, so you've got your assignment explanation, and then at the bottom you got the bit where you have submitted it. Yeah. So this is the bit where you said it was no longer there.
Yeah, there was nothing in there. It was just as if the first time I went in, it was blank like that. Yep. So I wrote a little comment in there to say, here's my assignment, blah, blah, blah. I attached the document. I uploaded the Word document, and then I submitted, and it said, your assignment has been submitted.
Okay.
So I just wanted to, a couple of days later, I went back in just to check to see whether there'd been any feedback, but it was blank.
Was this?
So I wasn't sure whether it had been submitted or whether I pushed submit and come out too quickly. So I submitted it again, and then I did it a third time. And so
let me just explain this. So there's two things. Once you have filled in this form and the document has been sent off, and it says the assignment has been submitted, this form will empty. Yeah, because as in like it's gone. You've already submitted it. The where you go and check whether it has been submitted, if you have a look on the left side, which is basically where you go and get your feedback as well, at the bottom of all the 15 modules, you got, at the very bottom of that left-hand menu, you've got my assignments. Obviously on my side is not going to show anything because I'm as admin, there's nothing that is going to be showing up there. But when you go into that tab, it lists all the assignments that have been submitted and the feedback, if the feedback is there, if it has been provided. Yeah. So if you want to check, once you have submitted it, if you want to make sure that it has gone, you go and check in this folder, and it will show all the assignments. So it should have given you that.
Yeah, and to be fair, I did go in there and had a look at that today after you said you'd received them. But at the time, I was just like, hang on, I've done it. I want to get it through. And every time I kept going, it didn't seem to have anything there or anything that said that. So then I went eventually and checked that, and it said, yeah, it's been submitted, and you're waiting to give the feedback. So yeah, I suppose
I'll have a look if there's a way of that form once it's submitted to kind of say it's already been submitted or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that the system might be able to do something like that. So I'll work it out. Obviously, I'll mark it down as something for me to check at the end of this call. Cool. But yeah, so essentially, just for the sake of of clarity, always go and check in that folder for my assignments, and you should have a list of everything that has been submitted. Equally, for those emails, and might not be helpful at the moment, but those people that have submitted assignments and they're getting emails saying you haven't submitted these assignments, if you go and check in that assignment tab, it will show all the assignments that are in the system. So the ones that I've been able to retrieve from all the different emails that I've had, I've obviously uploaded, and that's where they show, because obviously that is keeping a log of everything that is in the system. If there is stuff that is missing, then all it takes is either resubmitting it or otherwise sending me the original email or the document, and I can upload it myself. But if it's not there, it's because I can't locate what source it came from in the first place. So that is the place really to find out whether something has been submitted, and that is tracking everything basically. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think that's a helpful point, that if maybe I can make the form so that you can't submit again once it has been submitted the first time.
And sometimes, Fed, it's just I mean, the thing about the website is there's a lot of stuff on there, and just knowing where stuff is comes eventually. But especially for new people on that site, it's sort of trial and error. And, I can imagine that people are jumping all over the place trying to find stuff. So now I know where it is. I know where I go and find it. But that's sort of been a process of elimination and a small amount of frustration, but that aside, yeah, that's great. The final thing I was just going to mention is, and I touched on it earlier, is one of the things that's been really interesting is is when we write the assignments, George and I read each other's. Not because we're looking for ideas or we're looking to copy or we're looking, but we're just interested in because the assignments are predominantly what was your experience? What did you go through? What did you feel? What did you experience? And it's been fascinating me reading Georgie's and her reading ours in terms of how we've come at it, because we tend to come at it from a very different perspective. And what I've learned and has really helped me, and it's good for other people to hear this, is that there's not a right or a wrong answer. This isn't an exam or a quiz. It's what did you experience? So whatever you experienced is the right answer. And that's been really helpful for me. And so it's taken away some of the stress around, I've got to say this, I've got to say that. This is what the answer is. Because the answer is what I experienced and what I learned. And my learnings and experience are totally different from George's, but no one's right. Fed's not saying, yeah, Georgie's right and you're wrong. They're both right. So that's been a really interesting experience for me, which I imagine if you're doing it on your own and you don't get to see what other people's experience is or share them, could make you doubt yourself or feel less confident. So just an observation that I've picked up, the benefit of having my beautiful, talented wife alongside me.
And it is. I mean, if you track back to the, I think it wasn't, was it? Yeah, it was the last retreat. You know, the conversation that we had where Georgie asked, you know, how, you know, what is, you know, your understanding of working with spirit guides. You know, we had that conversation there, and it's kind of like, well, what does that mean to you, Georgie? And Georgie gave her definition, and I said, well, that's the truth of it, because ultimately our reality is influenced by our beliefs, and our beliefs are going to be individual. Everyone has got a different belief about what we perceive the world to be. You know, so when it comes to work, you know, in the case of working with spirit, people will have different sort of beliefs, different belief systems, different knowledge, different attachment. Maybe some people are more religious than spiritual, and vice versa. Some people maybe are more, you know, left brain like Phil, you know, and feel energy, but not necessarily spirit in a sense, and things like that. Who's right and who's wrong? And who am I to judge? The only thing is that I can do is to guide people to their own truth. But the point, though, that you're making, which is very relevant, and maybe there is something here to think about, because in the retreat spaces where we are working together, so we have that opportunity to exchange, and the point of these coaching calls is also to bring some of that together, is that maybe, you know, if people are open, I mean, the point of having the community on the website or also WhatsApp, Telegram, is for these exchanges to happen. The sad part of it is that obviously sometimes those channels can create too much noise, and it ends up with people switching off and not wanting to engage because they're too busy. But equally, you know, there is power in those exchanges, because your realization is something important that maybe other people need to tap into as well. So how do we facilitate that? And there's something important there, because it's not just about your current understanding of that, you know, because obviously you come to this realization, this was beautiful, I just read someone else's piece and I've seen that there's a different side to it, and actually neither of us is wrong and neither of us is right. You know, when it comes to doing the work and facilitating the space, you're going to have a variety of people with very different belief in front of you. Yeah, and some people are going to match your belief and some people are going to be completely the opposite. Yeah, and then you can have conflict that comes from that, not just you and that person, but it can be in the space between individuals. So who's right and who's wrong, and how do you facilitate that? That's a very important part of the work that we do, because, you know, this is not about suppressing anyone's belief in and then thinking that they're wrong, because it's not about being wrong, it's about facilitating what ultimately is going to help someone's healing journey, or, you know, understanding of the way forward. You know, so I mean, the very point that I make in the assignments being a reflection and not, I'm not looking for science, I'm not looking for research. I say from the beginning, I don't want you to regurgitate what you've learned here. I don't want you to go and tell me, you know, something else that you researched, or I don't want you to just, you know, ask ChatGPT to give me another insight. You know, I want to hear what you've experienced during, you know, that learning and the practices that you know, everything that has come up for you. Not because, you know, is scientific or is exactly what you said. I have, you know, 20 people giving me 20 different approaches, 20 different experiences, 20 different insights into the same topic. Nobody is wrong and nobody is right, but is very, very inspirational and very insightful for me, because I know how to facilitate the space because of those experiences. So how do we share that? Because ultimately, if you think about people that have, well, you've come to retreats, you've experienced our sound baths. When Phil and I do the sound baths, at the end of every sound bath, we always have the sharing space. And I always say, when we share, we have an opportunity to learn from each other, because it's not about me broadcasting at the end of the sound bath, this is what I think you should be doing, and this is what is going on, and this is my insight. I will guide you, I will help you if you've got a question, but what I'm interested in is people hearing each other. Yeah, and there will be one person going, well, I just nodded my head off, and someone else, I'll just blast it into space and I was traveling through the universe, and someone else going, you know, I had my grandmother sat by the side of me, you know, and someone else going, well, I became the color green. You know, it's just like, you know, and it's like, yeah, I always say at the beginning, it's like, you know, don't think that you're a weirdo, that you're crazy, because there's nothing, yeah, nothing that is weirder than what I get to hear at every single time that I run one of these events, because there's all sorts of things. But we're all well, I say we're all each other's freaks, but it's beautiful to be each other's freaks, because we learn from that. We learn that, you know, humans are so diverse, and we all have, you know, very different facets to, you know, how we experience life. So as facilitators, we need to embrace that. And, you know, so I mean, it goes back to the conversation earlier on, and again, you know, it's not, I can feel, I feel the energy in this conversation when it comes to, you know, the emails, or when it comes to, you know, the information not being right, or the website not meeting everyone's needs. Again, yeah, it's all part of the same. Yeah, it's about how do we create an ecosystem that works, where we can learn from all of this, because ultimately that is the power, is about getting that wisdom and making it work in, and organize it in a way that, you know, it suits as many people as possible, because we are a very small group of people with a lot of beautiful insights that can help humanity, you know. So it's up to us to make this work. Yeah, so I don't know, you know, how to facilitate, and it goes back to the same question, you know, that we have already started, and we'll continue with that conversation when I finish getting other people to share as well. But it's the same as, how do we you know, have conversations about accountability? How do we share our experiences, whether it's in the community, whether it's in WhatsApp, whether it's in Telegram? How do we coordinate all of this? Because I can push one system, I can push one way, but it's not going to meet everyone's needs. So it's up to us to come up with ways that work and facilitate everyone. Does that make sense? I hope. But thank you for raising that, Gary, because it's a beautiful insight. You know, obviously comes from your own experience with Georgie, but other people are not going to necessarily experience that if they're not doing it with someone else. But the triad is trying to remedy to a little bit of that, because obviously it facilitates at least that exchange between three people. Okay, thank you. Shal, over to you. How are you doing, lovely?
Hello, all good. Yeah, nothing really to report apart from we had our triad gathering on the weekend, which was lovely. We actually spent so much time together that we got kicked out of one cafe and had to go to another because we were talking too much. And yeah, but it was all like essay stuff and assignments and website and things. So yeah, it was really good, really, really good.
Beautiful, beautiful. And how about your own experience as well of well, obviously you submitted your assignments, you're on module 2. Any support that you need from the group, obviously, other than the triad? Any insights into the journey so far? Because obviously you're right at the beginning as well.
Yeah, no, all good. I think it depends if we're talking about the website and stuff now, or we're doing that after. Because all I was going to say was with the one thing I was thinking of, the accountability is on us to do it. So like you're doing an amazing job chasing everybody, but it's still our responsibility to be doing the work, which must be really hard to balance. But I was thinking while you were talking, one thing I felt was a good thing, even though it's not there now, and I probably shouldn't have seen it, was I was able to see all of the modules from 1 to 7 at one point. So I did actually read through them, and I found it like, what's the word? More of an achievement to see where I'm going. So even though I know I'm on module 2, even though I can't access it now because it's blocked, I kind of already know what's coming. So it's almost like I know what I'm working towards. So the only suggestion could be that even if it's not like the full module, it's just a paragraph that's module 3 is this, module 4 is this, but obviously it's only available to us. It's not available to the world.
I'm happy to do that. I mean, my only reservation in stopping people from looking ahead, and because this has actually happened, is that there have been people that have literally submitted an assignment, and 2 days later they submitted the assignment for the next module.
Yeah, so I just mean as in like just a paragraph that says what this module is, so you can't access any of these assignments.
Oh, yeah. But that one is available, as in like you've got the even from the onboarding document, you have the full insight into what every module entails.
Okay.
So that is there, but I'm more than happy as well for people to have to have access to all the materials. That doesn't bother me. I think that the only reason why I stopped it was to stop people from rushing through the content, because it's actually happened twice, and I'm just like, well, this is about, you should, for example, with a module, it's about you need to practice for a month and then you are reporting back, and people literally have submitted 2 days after submitting the previous module. So I'm like, what, how do I deal with that? Because then it generates an issue for me, and having to tell that person, well, look, you need to practice for a month, and the person can say, well, I already know about that. That's part of stuff that I do on a normal basis, and it's fine. But for example, let me give you an insight so that maybe makes more sense. So the first module that most people have done around improving your hydration, someone could literally open up the module and read, this is about hydration. So someone can go and write, I already drink 2 liters of water, so I can talk about drinking 2 liters of water a day. The insight that I given to people that have raised the question about, I'm already drinking, I said, well, maybe you can try something else, like you can try and energize the water, or maybe you can think about the source, like collecting rainwater from a well, or maybe blessing it or adding crystals to it, so that you're pushing yourself to do something different rather than what you have already been doing. And so if you're submitting just the assignment based on what you already doing, you're not growing. And it's about challenging yourself to get in more insight into the journey. So sometimes I found that for me to have those conversations kind of has created a little bit of an issue, because people think, well, but I've already done my assignment. I'm like, yeah, but you haven't pushed yourself, and then I have to have the awkward conversation of that. So if we have the the understanding that is 1 module per month, and that the assignments are being submitted at the end of the month, I mean, someone could still, and I think, at the end of the day, I'm not going to be the spiritual police, to try and have the heart sick on everyone, but someone could still go, well, look, I already drink 2 liters of water. I'm not going to push myself. Even if I have to wait until the end of the month, I'll still submit the assignment that I would have submitted at the beginning of the month. And so be it. I can't do more than that, but I'm happy to open up the modules if that feels helpful for everyone. So how does everyone else feel?
If the module details are there, like you already said, that it already shows, like I don't need to see the assignment. It was more of the fact that you kind of know what's coming.
So
but if information like that's already available, then I think that's fine.
Yeah, it's available. So it's available on the website in terms of where you go and have a look at what courses are available. So people that want to sign up to the course, there's the full curriculum there. Then I got the academy curriculum has got the same information, and then there's also an onboarding document for the Shamanic Transcendence Therapy course, which again has got the full a detailed curriculum in there as well. So I'm more than happy to share those documents here so that you can download and have a look at those. But I'm, like I said, I'm more than happy as well to open the modules if people feel that it is helpful to have a look at what's coming. More than happy to do that. How's everyone else feeling? Gemma's shaking her head. I'll come to you next. But Dave, yeah, nay, want to see what's ahead? You would prefer to see what's ahead?
Yeah, even if we had some kind of well, I was going to suggest a read only, but you made a really good valid point that, it still gives people so maybe just don't show the assignments.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm on, so because some of you know from conversations that I had. Again, this is not, it doesn't need to be a big deal or a big issue, because I don't, is a known problem really. It's just about making people aware and accountable that ultimately you need to have that experience before you're submitting your assignment. So,
Yeah.
if that is the rule, is the rule. But I do think that there's value, so I take the point on board that ultimately some of the conversations that I've had with some of you is, look, you're coming to the, for example, the fire festivals online, right? So some of you have participated, have already delivered, whether it's a meditation or whatever. Module 6 tells you to write either you facilitating a fire festival or participating in one. So to know, yeah, that module is coming, that assignment is coming, and maybe you're participating in a fire festival on more, when you're in your second month, you can already think about, oh, this is something that I can use for that assignment. So I don't have a problem with that, and I don't have a problem with people seeing the assignment. The only thing that I'm not opening up for people to see ahead is the assessment, because obviously the assessment should be something more about you challenging yourself to demonstrate that in the journey that you had, yeah, that you've learned, and that obviously you can share back what your journey has been like, and you should take pride in that, because obviously it's part of your journey. It's not a hard assessment. Maybe Louise and Anne-Marie might tell me otherwise, but it's not a hard assessment in the sense that you have to it's not closed book, yeah, it's not timed, yeah, so you still have your all of your materials, you got access to the website, you still can use ChatGPT and whatever else, but ultimately this is reflective of your journey, and you should take pride in that. And also, if the CMA or IPHM wants to come and scrutinize the assessments, they have access to that information. So if they want to go and have a look, they can. So you should take pride in what you're putting in those. So that's the only reason why I'm not opening those until the time comes, so that you don't necessarily just think all along, right, this is what I need to write in that assessment, and then be ready to plonk it in there when the time comes. But otherwise, I'm happy to open the module. So maybe that is what I need to do, because I think just reflecting on that, it may be helpful for most people. Gemma, don't look if that's not helpful for you. Or
I'm
maybe
just like, my brain is like got used to it now with being locked, but again, that's just my brain. It just works for me. But if the majority of people it's not working for, then I can just, as you say, not look.
yeah, don't open the folder, and
Yep.
no, it's good.
I got another suggestion. I mean, I'm easy either way. I'm happy with it locked as well, but maybe you just make the video available. Is there a way that if you haven't got it unlocked, you can only watch the video? So, you watch an hour's worth of video. If you want to watch a video, watch it as many times as you want. Not doing any harm then, are you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm more than happy. Okay, let me do a little bit of thinking, a little bit of seeing what the website is capable of doing. There might even be a way of personalizing it. So whoever wants it locked and whoever wants it unlocked, I might be able to create something around that. So let me have a look. My only worry is, and I'll tell you openly, as you already seen, you know, the website is new. There's a lot of technology. There's a lot of stuff that sometimes glitches and doesn't work. I've had someone else in the week telling me, oh, I had access to that course and I can't access it anymore, and I don't know what was going on because we tried all sorts of things. It has worked, you know, but sometimes there are those things that obviously are a little bit above my head, and I'm just like, the more technology and the more things you put in, and the more room there is for things to go wrong. So obviously, I'll try and make it work in the easiest way possible. Okay, cool. So I'll think about sorting that out. Okay, so Gemma, you're the last one of the round robin. So how you doing?
Hi.
Oh,
I am so sorry that I'm so late.
no, it's all good. You're here. Hello.
I have a horde of children in the living room. Jackson's got a wee friend over, my niece is over, so I'm like, and now we need to leave in 5 minutes for majorettes as well.
Lucky you.
Yeah. Busy week. Right, so I missed the start of the conversation. What am I sharing?
Just so where you're at, whether you need any support, yeah, how are you doing with the course so far?
I've seemed to have got myself into a really good rhythm. I had, because I'm a wee bit paranoid now that I could be one of the ones where I've just dingweed assessments, like sent them in case you're thinking that I could be one of the people. But what I realised was I was doing one of the assignments and I thought, I've done this before. And I went on my computer and I had written up my assignment was already on my computer, and you know, I sat for like 20 minutes going, right, either I can see into the future and I've just wrote this for the sake of writing it, knowing I was needing it, or I don't even know what I've done, but it was there anyway. No idea. I don't know if it was before everything got locked that I've seen it. I don't know. But
so because obviously you sent me a message earlier on. This is the bit of the conversation that you missed. So if you remember at the beginning, some things you sent me as a document, some were like emails, and some were sent to my personal email, some to help desk at, and you know,
yeah,
so, like they went everywhere. Literally, I'm not kidding you, but I've had people taking pictures of bits of paper that they've brought on and sent me pictures. So like literally, the information has been everywhere. So
yeah,
finally, there is one place where everything goes. But obviously, the emails. So this is the information that you haven't had. The email that I send out with, you know, this is where you're at, what you've done, and what you haven't done.
yeah,
All of that is reliant to what I could find. So if there's anything that you see
right,
that is missing, is literally just because it's not in the system. It's not that I haven't had it. So you just need to make sure that, you know, anything that is missing from there that you've got, just send it across or upload it, and obviously then it will be there, and the email that comes out will be true, you know, to
yeah.
what is actually present. Yeah.
I think I am up to. I think I am up to date. Sorry, the kids were screaming there. Yeah, I think I'm up to date. I'm on module 4. I've only got 1 to do. Just in my last assignment to write up, and then I'm on to 5. So I feel as if I'm getting right back into the swing of things, where everything being on the one place for me and my brain, it helped so much. I was so overwhelmed when it was like Telegram and there was the website and then there was something else, and I was just like getting really overwhelmed with everything because it was just, for my brain, it was just everywhere. I didn't know where to go or what to do, and I was just stressing myself out. Whereas now everything, as you said, is in the one place, and it's just really good for me. I'm finding it really helpful. I'm finding it really easy to keep track as well. The only thing that I did want to give feedback on is when we upload our assignments, and then so when we upload it, it says you've submitted X, Y, and Z. See, if I was to then go back to the previous module and check and see what I've uploaded, because I had to do it a few times, it didn't actually tell me
Yeah. So
what was uploaded.
we just had that conversation with Gary, so I'll just show you.
Sorry.
No, that's fine, because obviously you're raising the same point. So there's one thing that I'm going to try and sort out is that once you have submitted it, then it's going to show that it's been sent, so that you can't upload something else. But essentially, the way that you find out, what you submitted is by going, and I'll share my screen. So you go on the left-hand menu of the website, where you got all the modules. So this bit at the end. So you go 1 to 7, and it continues 8 to 15. And then at the bottom, if you look, there's where it says My Assignments.
Yeah, the feedback.
That's where the feedback goes. But also, all the assignments that you submitted, they show there, even if they don't have the feedback.
Ah, great.
Yes,
Okay.
so you can go and check. So if you go in there, it should list for you like all the module 1, all the module 2, all the module 3. So if there's anything that's missing, it's because I couldn't find it. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you send it across or upload it yourself, then obviously I can attach the feedback, and it's all in one place. So you can go back then and literally look. This is all the work that I've done on this course. So it should be easy.
That would have been helpful last week, Fed, to know.
There we go. Yeah. So obviously, this is a lot of this is new, but is all. If you think, I know that it might feel clunky, and I'm grateful, for everyone to bear in with me, but the way that this website is now, yes, there might be a lot of information, but if you think about right at the beginning, it was a mess, as in like there was things everywhere, and and having to jump from one place to another, and like I said, different ways of submitting information. It was doing my head in as well as everyone else. So now having everything in one place hopefully makes a little bit more sense. But I appreciate that obviously there's still a journey in making sure from the very beginning, from the onboarding right the way through to understanding where everything is. I'll make sure that is done. There is a little bit, I mean, obviously not everyone is aware, but there is an onboarding menu with a little bit of an explanation and a tour of the portal, which obviously I need to update because things are constantly changing still. But I'm trying to do as much as possible to make sure that people know where to go with these things. So this, is what I'll cover as well when I re-record that onboarding video, and make sure that people know where to go and have a look for their assignments that have already been submitted. So it's all very helpful. Perfect.
But yeah, out with that, I've not had any other issues. I'm happy with the way it is. It's just, I love it, if I'm honest. I really actually enjoy going on to the app and the website now. Like, whereas before it was like, oh God, I need to open this up, and then there's going to be like a million messages on that one and that one, and whereas now I'm like, yay, let's go.
It's in one place. Yeah. Amazing. Okay, so thank you, Gemma. So since
I need to go, Fed.
Yeah, absolutely. So just before you go, because just one quick question for everyone. So the question that has been raised and we started talking about was, what way of communicating do you want to use? WhatsApp, Telegram, or the community that is on the website?
WhatsApp.
What is everyone feeling? WhatsApp? Everyone is
WhatsApp.
Okay. At the
I
moment,
prefer Telegram. Sorry.
So far, we got majorities on the WhatsApp. Isaac, where are you?
I'm trying to un-WhatsApp myself.
I don't mind. I've won. WhatsApp's way easier because it's just there, really.
Okay. So the sense here, the majority here is WhatsApp. So I'm more inclined to go with that myself. I'm trying to stay away from Telegram because I find that the notifications are not working. I'm not particularly enjoying it. But at the moment, if you've noticed, I've been using WhatsApp as just a broadcast, as in like I've been sending the messages to make sure that people are receiving information, because the feedback that I had before is that if I send a message and then everyone starts replying, then that my message gets lost and people don't get the information that they need. So am I keeping it like that as broadcasting, or do you want it so that you can talk to each other? because it could be still that you do, WhatsApp for broadcast and receiving the information, and then you could use the community that is on the website, which works a little bit like a Facebook, where you can message and exchange and share insights. Or do you want to have all of that on WhatsApp as well?
Well, you can, if you're not already got in WhatsApp a part where we can communicate with each other.
At the moment, it's restricted, so there is only broadcasting. So when I post,
Yeah.
you can read my messages, but
Yeah,
nobody can reply. You can just put a like.
Ah, right, okay. I do like that. I love that, actually. I love it because, again, that was one of the things that I was struggling with before, was finding your message up with all the information, because obviously everyone else was coming in and all right, fed you up and acknowledging and things, and then before I know it, I'm 50 messages away from the information. So I am loving the way it is just now, but I also like the idea of being able to speak to each other. But I'd be happy doing it on the community page as well. I'm easy Aussie that way.
Well, I think either way, I think what we could do with is a sort of chat lounge. It's just sort of place to just chew the shit, and we just
Yeah.
talk about whatever we want to talk about in there. And
Game
that
for
way we can be communicating for little things, and the important stuff could be kept in like a separate channel. So every time you need to make an announcement, it goes in there. It can only ever get a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
Okay, so I can't. So unless I create two WhatsApp group, I can't have both those systems coexisting in the same group.
Right.
Right. So it's only either broadcast or otherwise everyone chats. Right. So it's one or so that's why I'm thinking that if I can keep WhatsApp as just broadcast so that everyone gets the important messages, like remember this deadline, there's this new bit on the app, there's there's a concert coming up, so that is just like news broadcast. And then maybe use the online community on the website where it can be, because the community is set up so that all the students that are on the STT course, there is a private space only for the students that are on the course. There's also a wider group where everyone can chat with each other, but there are certain sections that are restricted only to people that are on a certain program, basically. So does that work for everyone? Can I get? Are you
Somebody else has set the group up though, haven't they?
Yeah.
So like, say if you had the broadcasting one, but
Then
then
I need
we
to
said
go
here
for it.
now is, we're all given permission that we'll give our mobile numbers, and every, one person can just do the group, and even if there's somebody else who's not here and they want to add it, so then we can still.
I can set up the group. It's not a problem. Yeah, as in like I can have.
It's just under the same group that you can't do two. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, as in like one group cannot do the two functions, so you have to have two separate groups. But I'm happy. Okay, let's do that. I will do a little bit of a trial and error. Yeah, I'll set up another group. I'll duplicate it essentially. So one will be general chit chat. The other one will be broadcast only. But remember, because obviously this is the point, which is I know like I don't want to bang on about it, but is you need to make sure that you go and check two groups then. Yeah, so that you keep on top of checking into different places. We'll try, and then obviously see by next coaching call we will know what works. Yeah, so we'll have broadcasting channel as it is. We'll have a group on WhatsApp where you can chat. Forget Telegram. Don't worry about Telegram. That is going to be gone. But there's also the community on the website where you can share some stuff and post insights, so you got, a couple of different things to try out. But yeah, Telegram is done, disbanded. The judges gone. Right. So Gemma, I know that you need to go. So say hello. Ciao. Enjoy your party. Enjoy being a majorette. See ya.
Bye guys.
Ta-da.
Love you all.
Okay. So amazing to hear from everyone. I know that there's some messages as well. Go and have a look at those in a second in the chat. I wanted to say I'm just waiting to hear from a couple of people that are on the call. So in terms of Heilung, so there's a nice group of people going. So anyone else that is missing that haven't let me know, do let me know if you would like to come along to the concert on the 16th of May. And so this, I've messaged everyone individually. Night, Phil. Phil's going to bed. So if you would like to come, I've had a look. There's a few options in terms of staying all together in Airbnb, but I need to know ASAP because otherwise they're going to be gone. So I just need to firm up in terms of accommodation. The concert ticket itself is on me, but obviously if anyone wants to share accommodation, then obviously you're paying for the accommodation. At the moment the accommodation is around 70-80 pounds per person if we're all sharing, but I just need to firm up numbers so that I can make that booking. So waiting to hear from Isaac, Gary and Georgie. Gail, you told me that you would like to come, and I think that, everyone else I think I've heard from, but I'll chase the other people individually. So yeah, let me know if you can as soon as possible so that I can firm up those things. Now in terms of the certification I wanted to share, so we that starts tomorrow. So for those people that have not connected with that, it's open, so you're welcome to attend, which kind of forms part of the course as well. So the certification involves the 7 Secrets course, which you should go through as part of the Shamanic Spaceholder course. So the let's say the requirement of your journey is to have watched the 7 Secrets and to understand what that is all about, because it is actually part of your assessment as well to understand, because it's the framework, is the system that sits behind Shamanic Transcendence Therapy. So if you haven't already, this is a good opportunity to put yourself through that course. But the certification is basically you doing the course, so that you are watching the videos and you're trying some of the practices, not everything, just what resonates, but to really understand what that is all about. You understand the 7 Secrets assessment and also the insight that you get from that assessment and how that can help you then navigating the course and the resources to improve your health and well-being. So that is the course in itself. But the certification is also part of module 8 of the Shamanic Transcendence Therapy, where you learn how to support someone going through the assessment, the analysis of it, understanding what that means, how to access the resources from the course and all the various resources that are on the website, and kind of mentoring someone through that process. So by the end of the 7-8 weeks, you basically have gone through the program, you understand the resources, you understand the system, you understand how to help people through that process, and you become certified not as a therapist but as a mentor to be able to help people going through that process, which essentially allows you to onboard your own clients and use all of those resources and earn an income from that. There's nothing pushy, as in like it's entirely up to people once you have gone through that, whether it's something that you would like to do and to work with. But if you do, there's an opportunity to do so. Otherwise, at the end of the process, you get your certificate to say that you've gone through that process. So that starts tomorrow. We've got a coaching call from 9 until 11 in the morning, which is recorded, so you can watch it on replay if you want. So there's no requirement to attend live, but there is a requirement to actually meet what that certification tells you to do. So the requirement is about 4 hours per week to go through that process, but like I said, it kind of marries a little bit to the first 7 months of the Shamanic Transcendence Therapy plus module 8 of the course as well. So it kind of gives you some of the learning, some of the insight, and some of the processes that you need, for the Shamanic Transcendence Therapy anyway. So, entirely up to you. Obviously, if you're feeling already overwhelmed by the course, or if you're behind, if you think, this is too much, then there's no need, there's no requirement for you to do it. But if you feel that this is something that you would like to do, obviously the gold nugget is that at the end of this, you could start already practicing. You do not need to be qualified as a therapist, because by the end of that, if you're onboarding clients, you're onboarding clients as a mentor to take them through that process, and the resources are already all there. So basically you're using my course, my tools, and everything that is on the website to support people through that. But essentially, if they are signing up, then you are earning £70 per person per month whilst they're on the program. So it's something for you to think about if it's something that you want to start working with in terms of onboarding clients, starting creating your practice, and obviously making an income out of that process. So some of you are already on it, so you're already part of it, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. People that I haven't connected with this or haven't understood until now, if you would like to be part of it, then let me know. Like I said, there's no requirement for you to be live tomorrow morning, but I just need to know if you would like to be part of it, because I need to give you access to the portal so that you got access to the resources and to go through that. So send me a message if you would like to be part of that bit. Next, what I wanted to say as well. Yeah, Dave, go on.
Just one quick thing. I just found this for all the things in the calendar. So I download the ICS file, which is for the calendar, so I can import it into my calendar. And each time it says that it's an invalid ICS file. And that's happened for tomorrow's event and for today. So
Okay.
I just wondered if you can give that a test yourself.
What was it? The link to add it to the calendar, or the Zoom link?
Yeah, so when you click on the event, you've got you can either add it to Google Calendar, Outlook Calendar, or have the ICS file.
Okay.
And I download the ICS file and I try to import it into my calendar, and it fails.
Okay. Okay.
Work. It always used to work.
All right, I'll have a look, because I've done that, and I was able to add it to my calendar, and that is working with ICS because I got Apple. But I will double check, and I'll put it through the system, because obviously, where were you? What was it, on your mobile? Was it on your laptop?
On my laptop.
I got the same on my mobile, but mine's a Samsung.
Okay, and is your laptop the Microsoft?
No, it's a Linux machine.
Linux, okay.
With a Chromium browser. If that helps.
Okay, yeah, I'll check, because sometimes it's the equipment rather than the file itself. Yeah, so I'll double check. Okay, cool. Okie dokie. So what I was gonna
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So you said 4 hours a week. Is that the 2-hour coaching call and then watching the video and then practicing? Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
and what was the assessment you mentioned?
The 7 secrets assessment. So the one that you've done at the beginning of the week, the short one.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, you're learning. So that basically is like the 7. You do the 7 secrets. So say week 1. So we start next week. So tomorrow is kind of explain this is what's going to happen next week. And so we start with the first week being the root chakra. You learn about, the lesson is the root chakra is the human need for certainty. We're learning about breath work, sleep and rest, hydration, and then there's every week there's red food for the first week. So there's an element of nutrition, digestion, detox. So it's about gut reset and a little bit of mindset. So essentially you get a little bit of knowledge with the video. There's resources. It doesn't mean that you're going to do everything, because you go mad if you were to try. But obviously, sometimes it's about you pushing yourself with, maybe there's things that you're already doing, so you're doing something different, or maybe you're just concentrating on one specific element. Just know, same as you will explain to people that you may be helping through that process, that anything that you do is always going to help pushing that needle forward, because obviously you're bringing small changes. You might not do everything, but every little bit that you do will compound over the weeks and obviously lead to change. So you watch the video, you try some of the practices, whatever resonates with you, And so that is kind of like the journey of the 7 secrets. But then the coaching call instead focuses more on the process of understanding how to onboard the client, how to mentor them, how to understand the 7 secrets assessment, how it is analyzed, what it produces in terms of a plan for people, how you use the clinical portal to manage your clients, so kind of looking at the clinic, essentially, like where you got all your clients onboarded and monitoring their progress. So you're getting insight into kind of the running of the business, not just the system. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And then, like I said, at the end of it, there is an opportunity for people that want to continue to work with that. It's not for everyone, and maybe that people will get a certification and go. Some people might go certification and I'll think about it and maybe I'll come back, and maybe I won't, or some people can start straight away. There is an opportunity, in fact, during the 7 weeks for those that want to start already onboarding clients, because some people on the course, there's 35 people registered, so it's quite a big cohort to start with. Some people are already qualified in some healing modalities, and some people are not. And there isn't a requirement for people to be qualified as a practitioner of anything, because the process is just about guiding people to understand. That's where you go and do your assessment. That's where you go and access the resources. That's where the course is. So you get that insight for yourself, because obviously you're going through the program, but you're there then to support those people going through that process. If people need more than just what the program is, like if they need therapeutic support, then they can be signposted if you're not a therapist.
Okay. So to clarify, this course starting tomorrow is not, yes, we go through the 7 secret videos, but it's more to do with learning how to coach other people to access it.
Yeah. So the 2 hours of coaching is for that.
Right.
The other 2 hours that you invest in the week is more to go through the 7 secrets yourself.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. But just to give you a little bit of the kind of finance stuff, on the other side, I've literally, obviously, the 7 secrets and and obviously some of the stuff that I've been doing with it is what I've been doing for the last 7 years. But obviously this is a regurgitation, and there's a different sort of system around it. And obviously there's a new website, and there's also the app, which I wanted to chat about briefly as well. But all of that as a package, because obviously I'm now running this certification to take people through, is also what I use for my clients. And since I started promoting it, I've onboarded 5 new clients who are on a direct debit. And if you do the maths, it's 5 people paying £70 per month on a direct debit. So that's £350 that comes from having 5 clients that I'm working with on an ongoing basis, because they're committing themselves to obviously stay on that program for at least 3 months to begin with. So if you're thinking, especially with you coming, finishing your job, Dave as well, you're at that point of transition, this could be the momentum to start thinking, I've got something that I can go with, because it's a business in a box. You already have the resources, the assessment, you got everything in place to just guide people through. So it could be a way for you to start launching your practicing whilst you're obviously then thinking about what else you can add. There are other things, and I will explore that during the course as well, but essentially you can also promote your own therapies if you're qualified to do so, or courses if you're putting your courses together, so it becomes a little bit of an ecosystem for everyone. But it's exciting. There's a lot of opportunities, but yeah, there's certainly an opportunity to start practicing and earning from it as well. Okay, so if you're not on it already, and if you would like to be part of it, let me know. If you don't want to do it right now, if you got too much on, this is the first cohort. There will be another one starting in May, and then there's another one in September, another one in November, I believe. So the dates are on the website as well. And the last thing that I wanted to share was the app, and I don't know whether everyone has had an opportunity to have a look, but again, 120 people have registered since it's been launched, which is insane. And so the feedback that I'm getting so far has been pretty amazing. There are things that glitch and sometimes things don't work, so bear with. And I know that that can be annoying. I totally appreciate it, but there's still a lot of testing, and obviously sometimes things still not working regardless of the testing. It's bizarre sometimes that I can have 20 people going, yeah, this is amazing or whatever, and then there's someone going, I can't sign up, it won't let me in, and it's just like, I don't understand what is going on because it's worked for everyone else. But nevertheless, it's improving every day. I've added more things. But what I wanted to share with you, and just to give you the insight, is not just about having a lovely app, is also for yourselves. The original assessment that you've done, so the STT and also the 7 secrets, if you've gone through that, the insights that you've had from that long report and kind of like giving you tips about what you should be working on, that has already been shared with you, and you can access that on the app. So when you go into the home page of the app, you've got the pathway. So if you scroll kind of halfway down, it says your pathway, and you can go on that, and it gives you your insights, your goals, what you should be working on short term, medium term, long term. There is a journal, so you can journal on a daily basis. There are trackers that I'm working on every day, but on your trackers you can do things like setting your morning intention, you can do your evening gratitude, you can record how much water you drank, how many hours you slept, what supplements you took. It gives you a lot of insight, and it tracks it over time, so it gives you stats and lovely graphs about how you're progressing against your goals. There's also in the second tab, which is the healing tab, there is an AI meal planner which takes you through an assessment where you can say the type of things, like the taste that you prefer, whether it's sweet, savory, bitter, sour. It will ask you as well things about if you have done any blood tests around your intolerances or allergies. It will take that into consideration as well. It will ask you for if there's foods that you don't like. So for example, I don't like mushrooms. It will ask you how many meals a day do you have, if you like to have breakfast, lunch and dinner, whether you're having just the one, whether you want to follow a specific diet like the keto, or maybe you want to do intermittent fasting. So basically you go through the questionnaire, select all of these things. It will ask you how good you are at cooking, whether you're basic, intermediate, whether you're advanced with your cooking, also your budget, whether you're on a budget, whether you are you're frivolous when it comes to your food or whatever. It takes all of that into consideration. It creates a 28-day meal plan. You can click on every meal, it will give you the recipe, it will give you the shopping list week by week or for the month. So it's insane, but it will take all of that into consideration. And for example, if you start the 7 secrets, you can also let it know that you're going to go on to the 7 secret protocol, which then means that like the first week you're concentrating on red foods, and it will work out your menu to take that into consideration as well. So not only like it could be intermittent fasting, and it might be keto, and it might be mushroom free and whatever else, but it will concentrate on the red foods for the first week and then orange for the second and so forth. Is insane, but it works all of that out. And it will show the food for the day in that front page of the app as well. So have a look, explore. It's not just about having a lovely app. It's about you also making use of it and understanding how that works, how it can support your journey, and obviously give you insights into your own progress in all that you're doing, even if it's just tracking your mood, and maybe your mood against your food. It will tell you, like literally it will say, log your meals, yeah, and you can say this is what I ate, and it will ask you, how did you feel after you ate that food? Was I bloated? Was I happy? What did I feel energized? Did I feel like whatever? But it gives you insight, because over time it tracks all of that and gives you really good information to understand the relationships between all of these things. And of course, as part of the certification and as part of the Shamanic Transcendence Therapy course, these are the tools that you're learning to use with your clients. So these, like the app, is what will give you information when you're managing your clinic, because your clients will be using this app and this information. So you're getting all of that insight into managing their program and their KPIs. The beautiful stuff in the background of all of this is that the app, the website, the planning, the practices, as in the practitioners, the feedback that you're giving your clients as you start practicing, is collating information. So what is exciting for me, and obviously Gary, yourself, Dave, that have been on the steering group as well, some of the conversations that we had, is around the power really that is behind all of this, because this is gathering information around how the holistic and complementary therapies world can actually help people and change the world. So in a way that, very often the funding for research goes, to the kind of pharmaceutical side, the medical, scientific research. The holistic and complementary therapies don't get the same help and the same insight into documenting and also getting the kudos for the amazing work that we do. So this is actually providing those statistics to be able to then have the evidence to achieve change, in how these things are perceived and what we can achieve in this world. So I think is exciting, and I hope that you're with me. But explore the app, and obviously if there are things that you would like to see in there that are not there, if you think there's anything that should be done differently. I've had one of my clients today just saying, it would be good, if I, instead of just being able to say whether I've taken my supplements, whether I could actually say what supplements I've taken. So that was an easy thing to change, and actually it remembers, the app remembers, if you say these are the supplements that I've taken today, tomorrow you don't have to re-enter them all. It will give you a kind of like, this is what you took yesterday, have you taken the same, or you can untick things, so it kind of is intuitive, and it helps you, in the long term. But yeah, any recommendations, any insights, any ideas, about what this system with the app and the website can do, I'm always open, so I am very grateful when I receive feedback, because obviously it gives the opportunity to improve it and make it better for everyone. Any questions on that so far?
I know, are you, well, first of all, how do people access it? Is there a Zoom link tomorrow, and where would we find the Zoom link?
So so everything is on the portal. So if you
I can't find it.
Right. Have you registered?
You've registered me. It just says welcome. You signed up.
Okay. So
which I appreciate. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I did sign up all students, so that obviously everyone has got access, but unless people let me know that they want to be on it, obviously I can restrict access, but it's about making sure that people are engaged and involved. So if you are if you want to start the journey tomorrow, have you got, when you go onto the website, on the account drop down, do you see there the certification portal? Either from the account menu or from the portals menu.
I'm already signed in. It says 7 secret certificates. It says free. So I'm already signed in, I guess. On the drop down, it says website homepage, profile, dashboard, message hub. I've got the Academy Learning challenge, the portal, the community, the festivals.
You don't have one that says certification portal next to challenge portal.
No.
Okay, so you're not onboarded. So I'll give you access, and then you will have that menu option there as well. Anyone else that is on the call right now? So Georgie, I don't know, are you starting the certification with us tomorrow? You're on mute. Sorry.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, okay. So have you got access to the certification portal? Have you checked?
Through the app or website?
Either or.
I actually can't get my app to work tonight, weirdly, haven't you talked about it, but I think I can get to the website, yeah.
Okay, so as long as you got access, but I'll just share my my website very briefly. So when you go onto the website, so you should have from the account, you should have, oh wait a minute, sorry, for portals, you should have certification portal, and when you click on it, this is it. So you've got your preparation steps. These are the links that Dave was saying. So you got the calendar of all the calls for this program, and this is what Dave was saying. When he clicks on this one, it does not save the date to the calendar, but these are the actual dates for the certification. Then you got these are the preparation steps, and then week by week, this is basically your to-do of the things that you will be doing. It gives you access to the different sections of the website that we will be exploring during the coaching calls. It takes you to the community as well. There's the replays of the coaching calls, and obviously all the information that you need to then be able to run your business. So you need to have access to that.
Can you show us again how you access the Zoom on there, Fed? Because I've got that screen, but I can't see a Zoom link on my side. So where would that be?
Yeah, so so on this bit, wait a minute. So on the journey, so on the first menu, yeah, you've got the preparation, and there's, so week one, it gives you the date, and then the link is attached to this calendar entry. But what I'm going to do is I'm pretty sure that I've already done it, but I will put it, there's a WhatsApp group for all the people that are in the certification, and I will make sure to share the Zoom link in there as well if I haven't already, because I thought that I did it. Wait a minute, let me just double check.
I think you have.
Yeah, I have put it already in the group, and you are in that group as well, Isaac. Can you see? Is the group is called Merlin Will Be an AI on WhatsApp?
Just added to my calendar, Fed.
George,
It added, okay.
7. I've got some weekend. We're going to use it.
Fed, I've just noticed that actually the course finishes a week later than we thought, but we will miss the last week.
You will be fine. I mean, you'll have the recordings if you can't do the last week, but essentially you've got 7 weeks is going through the process, and the last week is more about like wrapping up and certification celebration type thing. So I was actually going to start the first week with the first secret, but I worked out afterwards that I need to give people instruction like this week about what we're doing next week, because when you say to people, right, you need to start eating red foods, people go, oh, I've already done the shopping for this week. So like that, it was a little bit of an oversight from me. But what is the issue with the 8th week? Is it to do with your move?
Yes, we move on the 26th.
Yeah. Worry not. Like you're on the STT course, so like you're not this is not gonna impact you. You're gonna be fine. But yeah. So obviously, like anything.
We're not actually starting the first chakra tomorrow then.
No, well, tomorrow I'll introduce and explain that, but the first chakra will start on Monday next week.
Oh, fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Okay, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so Louise, you said it worked to put the date in your calendar, but Dave doesn't do it for you, so I need to work that out. But yeah, I'll play with that. What was? Oh yeah, there was something else earlier on. So what did I ask? So Louise, yeah. So Louise, could you try to see if the triad works now? Because the system tells me that has been fixed. And so some of these things, like again, I'll say it once again, I'm grateful for all of your putting up with me and the techie stuff. But just to let you know, like this stuff, as long as I know some things are that straightforward as me, just putting the question into the system, it does its magic and then gives me the answer and says it's done. So as long as I know that there's a glitch or something that is not working, make sure to let me know. Don't suffer in silence, because obviously sometimes it's really, really easy to sort out. Other things, obviously, it takes a little bit more doing, but generally it does. So let me know. Dave?
I just tried it again now. I've noticed I'm not actually booked on. I know that I have booked with you, but when I try to do, um, I mean, I can share my screen if you like.
2 seconds. So you're not booked onto the certification?
No, so let me just check that I'm logged in. Yeah, so I'm logged in with my Jonkins Limited account. So when I see all upcoming events, I got free certification, 7 Secrets Wellness Mentor, book now. And when I click that link, I then have to submit my details again.
Wait a minute.
Won't let me do it, Dad.
It still won't let you do it.
I press the submit survey and nothing happens.
All right. So Dave, I have you in. Okay, 2 seconds. Okay, so you say it's still not letting you submit it. Or did you, Louise, did you refresh the page before you tried again?
I've just, it's just brand new. It was at work where I tried, so it hasn't been, I haven't been logged on to this one.
Okay. But when you, Dave, when you go onto your portals menu or account menu, can you see certification portal in there?
Right, let me unmute myself, then I'll have another look. Right. So when I look at where,
So when you go into either at the top in the top menu where you got either portals drop down menu or account drop down menu, can you see
yeah,
certification portal in either of those?
yes.
When you click on it, does it take
Okay.
you to it?
It takes me to, yeah, it does. Yeah, it takes me to it.
Okay, so you're registered. You don't that is all you need. You got access to it.
Okay, good. Oh, well, I don't know where it took me then, because I was on something like, um, I think I went from dashboard, and then at the top of the screen there was events. So I clicked on events, and it showed all events. Inbook was up at the top, and then there was list like a calendar sort of scroll across.
Okay, yeah, maybe I'm not sure whether the calendar is picking up if an individual is enrolled or not. It might take you to the page for people to register their interest. So that might be something that yeah, maybe I need to clarify. But yeah, so as long as you got certification portal in either of those drop down menus, then you got access to it. Isaac, I just checked on my side, you're enrolled, so you should see the certification portal in either of those two drop down menus, but they're still not showing.
I can show you what's on my screen if you like. But no, it says a 7 week journey, but if I click on any links, for example, let's say to take the 7 secret assessment, if I click on that, it takes me somewhere that says your assessment progress 100% completed.
Because you've already done it. Yeah. So you got access to the certification portal.
I did it through the Skool, I think, the Skool one you had. Didn't you have 7 secrets on
No.
Skool?
Hang on. We're talking cross wires. So when you click on the certification portal from the drop down menu, it takes you to a page which you can see because you've got the 7 secret journey, right?
Yeah.
So that it means that you got access to the course. Those
Perfect.
link, yeah. So those links are obviously things like this, the 7 secrets. You have already done it. You would have done it when it was part of Skool as well. But the assessment is the same, so you're not gonna have a different insight.
Okay.
It takes you to the same tool. There's obviously things on that page that you land on that are not enabled, so that you can't access because I haven't given access to anyone. So it's not just you. But when you go that initial bit where it says preparation steps, where there's the link also to take the assessment, obviously there are things that you've already done. You would have done already the STT assessment, you've done the comprehensive assessment as well, the one that you've done at the beginning of the course. So those things you don't have to repeat. If you want to, you can, but obviously there's people that haven't done it in the first place, so it's more for them.
Are you going to do a little logo and a badge at the end? Because I've signed up for this. I do tons of courses, and there was one lady. Basically she does like face yoga, Danielle Collins, and like broth. And what they do is when you do the course, they give you a little certificate. So when you go out and advertise with like customers, they know where the person's trained at. So at the end of it, obviously you get a little certificate. So you've done the 7 weeks. Are there little things that people can put on their own website to say, oh, because obviously we all have our own little businesses. Some people do breath work, some people do X, Y, and Z. So are you also doing that as well in Fed? So there'll be a little logo certificate.
You get proper accredited certification when you're going through the assessments for the shamanic space holder and the shamanic transcendence therapy. But for this certification, you do get a certificate of attendance. Obviously, you're not qualified. You're not qualified as a it doesn't qualify you as a therapist, but it does certify that you've attended the course and that you've gone through it and that you can mentor people through that program.
I wonder if it's worth doing a little logo that people can put on their website, Fed. That people can say, because obviously some people say that they've done training, like I've trained at Lob, and people say they've done different training and stuff. I wonder if there's a way that, because obviously ideally what people are doing is they're advertising you and your business. And I think if there's something that you could give them, like you can give them maybe some sort of media pack, I suppose, at the end of the 7 weeks. And people, like if you got money from the National Lottery Community Fund, you'd have like a pack, several different logos and say how you'd like things to be displayed. Maybe there's a logo. Obviously, it's not a qualification; it's just a completion certificate. But maybe that's something that somebody can put on their website. I'm just thinking, not now, but later maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's something that has been rattling. So, Gary, I'm gonna come to you with this one, and Dave, from the steering group sort of a perspective, something to kind of consider. But essentially, the conversation that I had with the CMA, so the Complementary Medicine Association, around them looking at the assessment, the clinical portal, and all of that stuff, which is exciting for them. It really made me think about. Hang on a minute. So basically, I'm delivering courses. I am assessing practitioners that want to come onto that and do the due diligence to make sure to see that they are certified, that they are insured, that they are trained, that they have clients, that they are operating within ethical things, and I'm doing also the mentorship, like the CPD, on an ongoing basis. I'm like, what is the difference between what the CMA or IPHM does and what I'm doing? It kind of almost made me think about, is this a, almost an accreditation service, or is it edging in that way? Because when I had the conversation with them, they were saying to me that now they're thinking about also giving CPD training to their members. I was like, but I'm already doing that, and so I'm just like, am I, it's kind of like, does it feel like am I stepping on their toes, or is this where the academy has got an opportunity to grow and expand into? Don't know, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of like my answer to that. I said, but yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it would be good to have something that people can show, but certainly you'll get a certificate. I don't know about the badge yet, but maybe yes.
I'm just thinking about people's marketing. When people do leaflets, people go to the. I'm always thinking about marketing. I mean, it's what I did most of the I'd make sure, because obviously it's not just that we need people, even if they can't attend our workshop, we need them to know about it so that they can sign to the next workshop, because we want to get that feeder system. I'm just wondering if we're missing a trick by not having that Fed. Maybe maybe I know I see all your marketing changing every day. One day you're in a suit, you got a bird. Next day you're somewhere else. You're always doing some sort of AI thing. Maybe there's some sort of little logo. Because you know, if you go into some holistic health shows, maybe you could have, you know, there could be like people, whatever, like let's say if someone does breath work, they can have little logos at the bottom of their like marketing, and it might be worth thinking about anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, Gary, what do you think about about that?
Am I taking that you guys are the executive committee then? So, okay.
No, no, no.
Yeah, the principle of having branding and marketing, but have we not got that already?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, you like I said, you get a certification of obviously, you know. I mean, that is that one is my current logo. Then you got the be in your heart that I've actually put on the the actual certificate. You know, so it takes nothing to have, you know, a little logo that I can, you know, pass on to students and practitioners, you know, to display that you've been through a certification or an accreditation. But yeah, I like, my question is more about, is that version into almost like the membership that the CMA and IPHM provides? You know, what is the difference, basically?
And I'd like to know who else is on the committee, so I know, you know, what not to say when I'm around certain people. I go, okay, better not talk there because that one will talk to that one. So if I get a little diagram, please, that would be lovely.
As you can see, we're having open conversations, Isaac, so you don't need to worry. Unless
We will kill you.
we will kill you. We've got special shamanic knives. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe something to explore anyway. Okay, I'll just I'll just open the room. Is there any other questions? Anything else that left unturned? Any other support?
Everything was with my login. I don't know whether it's just because it keeps refreshing, but I keep going back to test version. And I'm just wondering,
With
does
the
it
with
does
the
it actually
shamanic transcendence therapy?
yeah, does it actually affect anything? Like, or does it,
No,
as long as
no,
it doesn't
but
affect anything, and then I don't need to worry about it. But you fixed it the other day and it was completely fine. And then I've logged on now just to check that I've got access to this other course, and it's reverted back to test.
okay. So
But if it doesn't affect anything, like it, don't worry about it. It's just I don't think I've done anything. It's just it reverts itself.
is it? Have you logged in? Do you always log in with the same technology? Is it so with the same? Or is it phone, tablet? Okay,
Phone, always on my phone.
always on your phone. Okay,
Yeah.
and so when last time after we chatted, the test disappeared and now it's come back.
Yeah. So I logged out of here and then I logged back in and it had gone. And then today now I've logged back in and test has come back up.
Okay, it does not affect anything.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. If it doesn't affect anything, it's
It
just
doesn't affect anything. But after we chatted, so I went in and I said, "What?" Because that's not. I've never had a test version. Yeah, as in like when I've uploaded the course, it was the course at the beginning, same as it is now. So when you said to me, "This is coming up as test on my side," there's no test facility, so it's not like a toggle or a switch that I need to put to say this course is.
It's just a gremlin in my phone then.
No, because well, I don't know actually, because it doesn't. Wait a minute, let me just go in my side. But yeah, I don't see the course on my side as test. So I went and queried the system and I said, why does Shell see the course as a test? Because it's not a test. And literally just said, change that, and it did. It changed, and obviously you could see it not as a test anymore. And yeah, so I'll just ask the question again and see, you know, let it go.
But if it doesn't make any difference to access and it doesn't make any difference, it's totally fine. It's just if obviously it does make a difference, then I obviously need to.
Yeah, it doesn't make a difference. However, you know, that is one of those things that will bug me until the end of time, because same as you're asking, it might be someone else that is seeing it as test, and then obviously it's the same question: am I affected? Why is it test? You know, so it needs to be clear, and everyone should be seeing it as it is without having the test. sort of writing on it, because obviously people will think, oh, if it's just test, maybe if I submit my assignments, they're not going to be logged, or everything will disappear or whatever. So I'll obviously put it through as tasks to make sure that is removed. But yeah, it's bizarre that obviously it's gone and come back. Sometimes one of the things that often the sort of the system will bring up, it will say that it can happen when there's like cookies stored, but if you log out, refresh and log back in, it should always give the new version, not the old. But if obviously you've seen that the test had gone, it should not come back, because obviously at some point it would have refreshed, and obviously you had the version that didn't have the test there. So I
doesn't mean, because it was fine when you did whatever you did, and then yesterday it was fine, but it's just randomly appeared now.
Yeah, I can guarantee you that I can do that now in 2 seconds. But Louise, whilst I'm doing this, if you want to check, it actually says here, for the triad form, I've added comprehensive login that will show exactly what's being submitted and if there are any errors. Please ask Louise to try submitting triad form again. And Dave has got now access to the certification portal. So we knew that you already had that, but and I'll just say here that Shell tells me that the test version is showing.
You need to try logging into different devices though to see if that changes stuff, or
if you do have something at hand that you can check, yeah, by all means. But it's still is a bug that is coming up on your phone nevertheless.
I won't submit Fed. I've refreshed my browser, I've logged in, I've logged out.
It's still not letting you. Is that what you said?
Still won't.
Okay. I'll ask that question again.
Signing in on a different browser. No. The submit survey button doesn't work, and there's no error message or anything.
So one thing that I want to check, which I'm just querying now, is that sometimes there are certain buttons on different bits of the website, because this is what I thought that Gary was saying earlier on. When you go to press a button, it doesn't do anything, as in like it doesn't come up with a message to say that was submitted or any sort of confirmation, and it doesn't look like you clicked it. It just looks like literally like a tile, and when you put when you click on it with the mouse, it doesn't do anything. But at my side, it submits, so
all the text is still there.
Yeah, so I literally just said, Louise is telling me that she can't submit the triad form, but can you check the logs to see whether anything has been received? So even though it might not show at your side that it's been submitted, it might have been received. So it's just checking that right now.
When I click on triad practice again, all that information's already still written there.
Yeah. That like I said, I've had sometimes that happen with some forms. So just bear with me a second, because it's just checking. At the moment, it's just checking on the test version of the course that Shell was just talking about. So 2 seconds. By the way, I mean I don't mean to keep anyone here if people want to go, because obviously we are finished as far as the coaching call is
good, because I need a wee.
Okay, so let's just close it here for those people that need to go to the toilet or need to go full stop or need to go to bed or to carry on with your beautiful evening. It was beautiful to have you here. Everything was received with love, and obviously I will be improving and taking action on the feedback that I received, and I'm grateful, for all the insight. And apologies if some things feel frustrating, and there's always a little bit of dissonance and edges that need to be smoothed, but it is a journey for me as well as for yourselves. So thank you for the insights. Thank you for making the time tonight. Lovely to see you all, and obviously to hear where you're at and all the beautiful things as well that you're progressing with. And I will look forward to seeing some of you on the certification tomorrow. Shal, just for clarity, are you on the certification? You are? Yeah, cool. Okay.
Yeah,
And
I'm all good. I'm on that. Yeah.
And you got access.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
there.
you can see it. Fab.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so I shall see some of you tomorrow, and otherwise I'll see all the rest at the next coaching call.
Okay, no stop, Hope.
Thank you, Fed. Thank you, guys. Love you all. Speak soon.
See you all. Right, so Shell, 2 seconds, still hasn't come back.
I say don't worry about it, because I think even if I log out and log back in, it does actually take quite a while before it removes. So I won't be able to check it now to see if it works.
Right, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when you did it last time and you said check, it was a good hour before it was not there.
It's sometimes, so once is checked on that, what I need to do then is to publish the change, which normally it will take about 10 minutes, but as in like 10 minutes all in all, but yeah, by all means, obviously, if you want to go, just go back and check. Obviously, I'm putting it through. That is doing all these different searches. I did say, like, because sometimes like those sort of things, like for example, there was another one where it just added something. I can't remember what it was, and I was just like, can you just remove it, like, for good, because I never used it. I will never use it. There's nothing that is needed, so just let it go, let it disappear. And it did, and then it came back, and I was like, what the hell is that for? Anyway, but yeah,
it was more of the fact that if I've ticked something or if I've done something, just tell me what I've done and then I'll undo it, because it just seems weird how it was okay and then it wasn't okay.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah, but like I said, the bit that I find disconcerting or if I'm confusing is that it's never been a
It's
test.
never been a test.
It's never been a test, like, so I don't even know where the test thing wording came from, why it was added, because I it was never there to begin with. So it's really, really bizarre. And
I do apologize. I apologize.
It's nothing. Well, clearly, it's nothing to do with you. But the point is that what is, see, this is like the weirdness of it all, is that there are these like weird one-off things.
Gremlins. They are
Yeah,
gremlins.
they're literally like only one person is experiencing it, or just a group of people. It's like I've had Reese. Reese is on the Shamanic Awakening Foundation course. And like he was the one at the beginning that said, look, Fed, I can access all the courses. So then obviously I had to do the magic to restrict. And then obviously gave him access and he could do the course. And then he sent me a message like a week ago saying, I can't go into the course again at all. Yeah. And then I worked with him online. I was like, change the password, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, nothing. So I got him to change the password so that I knew the new password. I logged in from my side. And when I went in, on my side, I could see I had access to the course, but I also had access to the STT course and the 7 secrets and
to everything.
the blueprint. Not all the courses, but some of them. But as in, like, they showed unlocked, but when you clicked on it, it said that you needed access to it. But I was like, but it doesn't have the lock, the little button to say that.
So it should be fine. Yeah.
So it's like, it shows like you can click, but when you click, it says that you need to purchase it. And I was like, that is not right. And then it basically, when I put it through, it basically showed up that there was another 3 people that would have had on paper on the system, they would have had the same issue as him, but just nobody has ever got in touch to tell me, look, I don't have access, because sometimes people buy a course and they never go on it, you know. So nobody has got in touch with me to say that they were experiencing that. Anyway, in the meantime, as we were talking, it says, based on my thorough search, no test version text exists in the code base. The text isn't hard-coded anywhere. Shell is correctly enrolled on the STT course with status active. All course titles in the database are Shamanic Transcendence Therapy, not test version. This could be cached old content in Shell's browser, but it was never a test, so like it could not be an old version. A browser extension adding the text, but again, where is that coming from? Confusion with another platform? No. Can you please ask Shell to hard refresh the page, which you would have done, clear a browser cache, which has got nothing to do, provide a screenshot. But you sent me a screenshot of this.
Can you see it there?
Huh?
It's back to front. It's back to front, but it's the little orange.
Yeah. But I think you sent that to me, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll upload that, and yeah. So then it will have a look. Okay. So I will do that bit. But yeah, and now obviously, like I'll send you information once it's done it, and then hopefully.
Yeah. No. Honestly, don't worry about it. I'll check it tomorrow. But it's the fact that it was never there originally. So yeah, when it keeps on saying it's reverted back, when I first logged in months ago, it was never, ever, ever test. That has literally only just popped up in the last couple of weeks. So, you know, when it said about reverting back,
yeah,
it's weird how the reverting back isn't to the original. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. But okay. Anyway, I got it here, so I will be uploading it now, and ask. So in the meantime, well, if you want to go, you're more than welcome. I'll drop you a message just to let you know when that has gone.
All good. Thank you very much, lovely. Thank you. I will see you tomorrow.
Okie dokie. See you tomorrow morning.
I can't make tomorrow morning.
Oh, but yeah, well, you'll do yeah, I'll see you online anyway with messages or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. But I'll see you on Soundbath. I'll see you in Coed tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh my God.
Okay, maybe not then.
Yes. No, you will see me at Coed. I'm just thinking, like, literally we've had so many Soundbath. Well, it was Saturday we did Urban Zen, and then the Landgrove, and then Sunday there was a new pool. Last night there was Golden Grove, and tomorrow is Coed. So I'm literally frazzled.
All good then. All good, yeah.
All good. I'm healed with all that sound.
Thank you, lovely.
All right.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Ta-ra.